When it comes to what your family eats and drinks, you know your choices matter. You're the expert because you know what fits your life. And getting it right starts with good information. That's why America's beverage companies are sharing more information about our ingredients at goodtoknowfacts.org. No spin, no judgments, just the facts straight from the experts for more than 140 beverage ingredients. Visit goodtoknowfacts.org.
The one thing I remember you saying was, now you are able to have a successful real estate career. Explain to the audience what that means, because they're like, well, why couldn't she before?
I was living with somebody who was very controlling with money and would use things against me. Like, what about our kids? Or what? I mean, my kids are old enough. They're in school all day. Like, that wasn't an issue at all.
The mom guilt, throwing mom guilt on.
And, you know, of course, I was like, oh my gosh, what about my kids? And as moms, our kids come first and we want to be the best we can be for them. But if you aren't fulfilled and happy and peaceful, then really it affects your kids. It affects your work. It affects everything in your life. You're not being selfish, really. You're just taking care of yourself.
Sharp French, what up? This one luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time. I confirmed it. A whole society determined.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Determined Society. I'm your host, Sean French. And before I introduce today's guest, please do me a favor, hit subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, and make yourself this promise that you're going to share this episode with someone that you know, love, and trust that needs to hear the message today. Once again, I always appreciate ratings, comments, whatever. I love to know what you love about the show. I love to know where we can get better too. So always here to hear your feedback. So today I have an amazing guest from Houston, Texas. Her name is Heather Shepard, and she is an absolute badass. She's overcome so many things in her life recently. She had a life-altering event that happened, a divorce. She was married, and it was not a pretty situation for her in a sense of dealing with a narcissist. And she has broken free from those chains, and she's out there killing it in motherhood and in business. So without further ado, Heather Shepard, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sean. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm jacked you're here.
Thank you.
I'm jacked you're here. You're an amazing human being. And so I just remember, you know, for the audience listening, it's so funny how connections are made, right? Mm-hmm. You sent me a direct message, I don't know, a couple months ago, really. And it was just, you know, it was so sincere and sweet. And I'm like, I'm going to respond.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to respond to this. And, you know, it's just, you were wanting to come on to the show. And the one thing that I really loved about your approach was it was kind, it was gentle, but also unapologetic of wanting to get your story out, right? So you applied to be on the show, and here you are. So for the audience that doesn't know your whole story, why don't you start by telling them a little bit about who you are, what you do, then just briefly start going into the story of the reason why you're here today.
Okay, so I am a luxury real estate agent in Houston, Texas, and I have 3 kids, amazing kids, 14, 12, and 10, a girl and 2 boys.
And your girl just won a district championship.
She did for basketball.
So badass.
So I'm so proud of her, and she loves it and works really hard. And so I live in Houston. I'm a native Houstonian, and about almost 2 years ago, I just decided I couldn't live the way I was living anymore. And I had to make a change for myself and for my children. And it wasn't an easy decision. No. And as a mom, you know, like doing something like filing for divorce or making big changes, like, you know, you almost feel kind of like selfish, but you know it's for the best of everybody. But it just felt like I tried so hard to keep everything together. And then finally I was like, I can't do this anymore.
This is interesting.
So you're about to make a trade based on a friend's text. But which you do you listen to? Is it, oh, we could buy a house in Tulum? Get optioning those options. We could lose everything. Or let's do a little research. Get your head in the trade and make the investment decision that's right for you. Learn more at finra.org/trade smart.
And I want to take a pause real quick, and I want all moms and dads to listen. When you're going through making a decision, for that's going to change the lives of not just yourself, but your children,
Right.
there has to be the fair trade, right? Like, what's this going to cost me, but what's the reward, right?
Right.
So why don't you walk the audience through that pain? Because you talked about, you just couldn't live like that anymore. And in fact, you told me at one point, like, I'm going to die if I keep living like this. So let's connect that with the audience and let them know the things that you were going through. So that way they can understand your story more. Then hell, you could be a beacon of hope for them.
Yes. Well, yes, definitely. Thank you. Just having somebody that wasn't around much, but when they were, just the meanness and the anger and violence and just, after a while, I kept justifying it to myself, like, it's not that bad, or like, he's not around much, or, but it just, one of my best friends who is also a life coach, she told me, and I told you this on my form, she sent me something that said, can you imagine being in your late 80s, like on your deathbed and looking back at your life and being like, oh my gosh, did I live like that? Like,
Wow.
why wasn't I strong enough to make like a choice and change my life? And when she sent me that, I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like if I looked back on my life and this is how I was living and my kids were seeing, especially my daughter, like, is this the example that I want to set for her and her future relationships? And I was like, no, that was so powerful to me. And I remember like after a really bad night, I was driving home from carpool and I went straight to my attorney's office and I was like, I'm ready. Like,
wow.
And we filed like that day.
That day, you're like, I'm just done. It's funny you mentioned your daughter, but you know what I also find very interesting too, and my wife sent me this reel earlier today. It was like, as a man, as a father, right? It is our job to lead in the household from the standpoint of the daughters, right? From the daughters of like, daughters get their confidence from their father. Right. And the little boys learn how to treat women from watching their dad. So it's not just about your daughter. True. It's about what was going on in that home that your sons were going to see. Then eventually, if they were around it enough, that's how they would treat women. Right. Isn't that powerful?
That is very powerful.
That's some fucked up shit, isn't it?
That really is. Because I always, my boys, like, they're my boy. Like, I want them to grow up and be amazing husbands and amazing fathers, and just respect women and treat women well. And so I think that's very powerful.
Damn. Now you mentioned violence, so it got physical at one point. Then, right?
Well, just like a little, nothing. That wasn't. It was mostly like just rage,
like throwing shit, breaking shit,
like violence.
It's a form of intimidation, though, right? And it is a form of abuse.
It is,
sure is.
And when you're living it, though, like you don't realize, like, well, at least I didn't realize, like, oh my gosh, like this is something that he is using to like intimidate me and scare me, and the way I was living, like walking on eggshells and just kind of never being able to fully like relax. Like now my life is so peaceful. I was like, all I want is like peace. Like I don't, that feeling of not having to be like nervous or like never knowing like what to expect in your own home.
It's really hard. Like when you were going through those moments of walking on eggshells and just living in a constant state of fight or flight, how did you manage that?
Well, I always I tried to be like, and I told like my word last year was consistency.
Love it.
So I just, I got up every morning. I controlled the things that I could control, like my work. Cause I was now after I filed and everything, I was able to, build my real estate career, which was like my dream, like to have this like empire of like in Houston. And so I would get up and I, would work out too, my weights and Soul Cycle and classes, and just having that routine and like that consistency. And no matter how I felt, just making sure like I was doing my best, doing these things, like waking up my kids, taking them to school, like, the things that you can control, like as a mom, no matter how you're feeling, like just really staying consistent with those things. That really helped me. And that was what kept me going.
That's incredible. Like, I want everybody listening, whether you're a woman or a man, just know that you living in your home and being worried about, potentially what's going to happen next, right? Waiting for that next shoe to drop.
Right.
It's not a way to live, right? It's not a way to live. And you can't thrive if you don't feel peace in your own home. So I think the word peace is very applicable to many things we do outside the home, whether it's building a podcast, being a successful realtor, a great school teacher, or even a car salesman. Like, you have to have some peace in order to be fully functional out there in society, and to be able to thrive, right? The one thing I remember you saying was, multiple times, but even just then, and when you were speaking, was now you were able to have a successful real estate career. Explain to the audience what that means, because they're saying, well, why couldn't she before?
Well, so before, I was living with somebody who was very controlling with, money and everything I did, and would use things against me like, oh, well, if you do that, like, what about our kids? Or what? I mean, my kids are old enough. They're in school all day. Like, that wasn't an issue at all.
The mom guilt, throwing mom guilt on.
And, of course, I was like, oh my gosh, what about my kids? Like, if I need to pick them up from school, or, and I'm working, like, which really was all in my head. And as moms, we want to be like, our kids come first, and we want to be the best we can be for them. And so, but another thing is, like, if you don't fill like your cup up, if you aren't fulfilled and happy and peaceful, then really it affects your kids, it affects your work, it affects everything in your life. And you're not being selfish, really. You're just taking care of yourself. And
dude,
it's
funny because I think moms in general, and I think good dads, I don't think it's gender specific. I want to be very clear.
Right. No.
Because I deal with a lot of dad guilt. I deal with a lot of dad guilt.
Yes.
And so so does my wife, right? Mom guilt. And you clearly have mom guilt too. It's a real thing. So parents listening is like, listen, as long as you are out there trying to better yourself so you can be whole for your family, then don't feel guilty. Like, if the kid has to go to aftercare one day or somebody else has to pick the kid up, like, is it really going to be earth shattering? Now, what would suck is like, if you just didn't plan for that and then you couldn't get to pick your kid up and they're sitting there at the parent pickup, like, fuck, where's mom? Where's dad? Like, that's mortifying. But like, the parental guilt, like, I go through it a lot because my phone goes off. I mean, we had breakfast together. You saw my phone going at ape shit the whole freaking time. Like, but there's some things that I do have to answer. So it's like, walk the audience through how you deal with, the parental guilt, because like, it's a real thing, but also, is it necessary?
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Right. So as a realtor, like, my phone, like you, like, because, real estate deals, it's like always like my phone's going off. And so how I deal with the mom guilt is I really try to spend, like, I've started trying to have dinner with my kids and just have like really meaningful like conversations. And, it sounds like kind of like cliche, but, just really enjoying making the most of the time you have with your kids and doing things with them. Like, and, I tried to do the like one-on-one, like, but it's really hard with 3 kids. So I really just try to spend like quality time with them and really hear about their day, and just instead of, just kind of like, and it's on the amount of time. It's more the quality of the time, I guess.
I'm with that, right? Because everybody talks about balance, right? And if we talk about balance, and I'm like 8 hours at work, 8 hours with my child, 8 hours in the gym, 8 hours reading, 8 hours with God, like you cannot do that. Really, what we're searching for is how can you be present in those moments,
right?
Right.
Exactly.
So if like every Thursday night now, and it's Thursday, right? Yes.
Thursday.
So like for me, I know I get to go with a walk with my oldest daughter tonight.
Oh,
That's our thing on Thursday nights. We go in the neighborhood, go for 15, 20 minutes. It's my time to connect with her.
Yeah.
And last week when we did, it was the first week, right? Because I do realize like she needs one-on-one.
Yes.
She needs me one-on-one.
Right.
And so does my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, right? My son, he can thrive at baseball, but sometimes he wants to mess around and play some PlayStation with dad.
Yeah, totally.
It's all good. But having that time, I left my phone in like there's this thing, the box that we have, we put our phones in there. And not enough. We don't do it enough. We need to put them in there a lot more freaking often.
I love that idea.
So I have my phone in there and I come back and my wife goes, "Hey, I texted." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't take it." She goes, "Wow." Because that right there, that 15, 20 minutes, my daughter's not going to view that as 15, 20 minutes. She's going to view that as a highlight of her fucking day.
Exactly.
Because I was focused on her. I didn't have the stupid Apple Watch. I didn't have my phone on me. It was just being there with her, talking to her, right? And so that's great. Like, hey, listen, sometimes you can't do one-on-one.
Right.
But when you do have that time with your children, and it's family dynamics, right?
Exactly.
So if you're there by yourself and you have 3 kids, how can you do one-on-one with all 3 when you got them all to yourself, right? But it's being present at dinner. Like to me, dinner is non-negotiable. Like, nah, we're sitting down. Like no one from the outside can penetrate these 40 minutes right here. Because I think one of the biggest things, and then I'll let you go, let you talk, is, in society today, I don't think there's enough focus and importance labeled on family dinners or family breakfast or who's sitting at the table anymore.
Right.
That's all we do. Can I start? Nope.
No.
You're gonna wait until everybody gets there. So,
and that's something like we really didn't do before. And actually, Jason, my wonderful boyfriend, he was like, "This is something really important."
Yep.
And I was like, "You are so right."
Yeah.
Like, just, that little, like, even if it's like 30 minutes or just connecting with them, letting them know, like, you're here for them. And like, it's really powerful. And, and even like my daughter who's 14, like we'll go to a workout class together. And even though we're not like talking the whole time, it's just like being together. Like I always talk to her on the way there and then on the way home. And I mean, I probably drive her crazy, but it's like one of those things. Yes. I'm like, I just want to talk to you.
Yeah.
But just that time together is really special.
Yeah.
And that's what they remember. Like,
but yeah, like, dude, like if you can be present with your kids and they know that you're fully there with them.
Right.
They're going to give you that grace when you have to be out.
Exactly.
Right.
That's so true. No, that really is.
Yeah.
It's that time together and really like asking them questions and just being there for them.
What's your favorite part about when you ask them a question and how kids, man, they just go, right? What is your give me one of your kids, like one of the things that they do that you're just like, oh my God, I'm so happy I asked this question. Now I get to hear you talk.
Oh my gosh. Well, my William, he is so funny. So my boys go to an all boys school, and the stories that they have, like every time I ask him, like, how was your day? Like, especially on field trip days, they go on these really cool field trips, like to parks, and they go hiking and stuff. And he always has a hilarious story about his friends or somebody like jumped in the lake or somebody was in the mud, or I always love, like, he will tell me these elaborate stories. Right. And my other two, I'll get like little like pieces of their day, but I won't get like these stories that William tells me. And, I'm always like, gosh, like, thank you. Yeah. Like because I always want to know about their days and I want to hear like about their friends and everything. And also when they have friends in the car, that's also another thing.
Cool, yeah. I just love, like, because I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking through like the whole movie here, right? the time when your ex-husband was around than during the divorce. And the fact there was a point where he was trying to take your kids completely. We'll get to that, right? But now you have a good dude in your life who's stressing the importance of family dinners.
Yes.
Bro, that's fucking amazing.
I know.
Right? And that shows your children now that this man is treating their mom with respect.
Yeah.
And not just that, but valuing them too. And I think that's, really hard when you get into like blended families and things of that nature. So it's like, have you just noticed them just opening up during dinner? Like, like obviously in stages, right?
Yeah.
Because before, like if you weren't doing it before, now all of a sudden you're doing it. It's like, why are we doing this, Mom?
I know. And I get questions from them all the time. They're like, no, what are we doing? And I'm like, no, like put your phones down. Like we're all sitting down together. And they've started to really enjoy it. Yeah. And they have opened up more. And, it's fun to have it actually having like, the blended, like his two kids are older. They're 19 and 23.
Oh,
and
wow.
so, and then mine, being younger, it's really a neat dynamic.
He's back in it now.
Yes.
He's back in it. He's got to raise kid 3 more again. Like, you ain't done, bro. You come back in here.
Thankfully, he loves kids. So I'm like, oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
But just, it really, they feel more comfortable and they know, they look forward to it.
Yeah.
Which was something I wasn't expecting to happen.
That's amazing because you broke a cycle.
Yes.
Everybody talks about cycles, right? And like if it and then obviously there was a movie out there, it ends with me or ends with us or something like that.
Oh, yes.
Like,
I've heard about
there's
that.
controversy about that now. I think I bring that up with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting old. We're not going to touch on that.
No.
Hey, maybe we will. I don't know. But it ends with us. And I think the big lesson there is like when I was treated a certain way as a kid, or anybody, right? Like we have to look at what that's going to do to the next generation.
Yes.
So are we going to break generational curses or are we going to add to them? So like, for you, when you made that transition out of your marriage,
yes,
like there was a point in that decision making and for me too, because this is my second marriage. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't talk about it enough. I probably should so the audience understands it more, but I'm not ready to. I'll talk about things when I'm ready. And I think me saying that this is my second marriage is the first time I've ever said it on air. So I said to myself at one point, I'm like, am I the man that I want to be in this specific marriage right now? And the answer was no.
Right.
And not placing blame on anybody. My ex-wife and I are like really good friends now. And my wife and her are close. And I adore her. I love her to death. And the thing is like, I'm not just that I'm not the man I want to be, but what are my children going to learn from me? It has to end now. I have to cut it off now. And I have to go through the pain of the divorce and the fucking timeshare, dude. Come on. That's hard. But it was done for the betterment of them long term.
Right. Exactly. That's so true. And that's like, like thinking about like one of the main reasons I was like, I'm going to stay in this relationship because I don't want to not have my kids on Christmas morning.
Dude.
Like,
I'm like, that's hard.
But so this was the first year, this past year. And I basically pretended it wasn't Christmas. I told my whole family, like, it's like, we're going to celebrate when I get them back. And we had a whole big Christmas and I survived.
Yeah,
like it
survived.
wasn't even
like, okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
And I, it was just one of those things where it's part of it, but was it worth it? Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to push past like those thoughts of like, I'm going to die if I don't have my kids on Christmas. No, you're going to be okay. Like you might be sad and of course like miss them because, it's a special morning, but they were so happy when I got them back. We had Christmas. All my family came over and
they're excited. They get 2 Christmases.
I know that's the thing.
Shit.
Like, they were like, this is great. But like as a parent, you're just thinking like, because those are so many special memories that, getting everything ready for Christmas and Santa and like, oh,
it makes it different.
Excitement.
It makes it different. But like, I can really relate. I can sympathize with that.
Yes.
Like no one really understands what divorcees are going through when there's kids involved unless they've been through it themselves.
Right.
It is like due to a point where I'm like, yeah, no, I can't ever not be in this marriage because there's no way I can not be with my son. Right. Like there's no way I can be with my daughter. Like, whoa, like now though, it's equal amount of time. And it's like, and there's people, I know there's people watching right now, like, no, marriage, you don't get divorced, you stick it out. Those kids are suffering. You know what the fuck you're talking about.
No.
It's an ideology.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that ideology to me is like, okay, well, my children can grow up in this home that it's contentious and then grow to hate both their parents and then have messed up relationships on their own, or I can break the cycle.
Exactly.
And that's what I did.
See, you get it. But it's scary, definitely going through it.
Yeah.
And it's just
horrible.
It's so upsetting. It's so stressful. And but on the other side, looking back, like I have told some friends who are thinking, they're like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, should I? And I'm like, no, I can tell you from my experience, just trusting yourself and believing in yourself. Like that was something that was hard for me at first because I didn't have this big career and I wasn't able to, do a lot of the things before that I am able to do now.
Yeah.
And just believing in yourself, like you're stronger than you really think, like deep down. And when it comes to everything, like you will be okay.
See, I like what you just said there, that you didn't have this career before, that you have now. Walk the audience through that, right? Because this conversation's flying by and it's amazing. And there's a bunch of descriptors in there of how, dark and contentious it may have been. But let's talk about the things that came out of it, right?
Yes.
So now your career, you're like one of the top luxury real estate agents in Houston, Texas. How has the freeing of that energy helped you grow your career?
Oh gosh, it's been like night and day. Just when you're happy and at peace, everything falls into place. Like now I'm able to not have the stresses that I had before. And, when you have somebody not being nice to you, like a lot, it really wears on you. And you start to think, oh my gosh, like maybe I can't do this. Like maybe, but then like getting that self-worth back and just feeling like unstoppable. Yeah. It just makes all of the difference.
But you did the work to get that self-worth back, right? Like,
yes.
Explain that to the audience, because it's like a lot of people say like, hey, don't put your self-worth in another person. That's not what you were doing.
No.
That's not what you were doing.
No.
How did you get that back yourself?
Just little by little, like, my whole thing about being consistent, like just, working out, reaching out to people, letting everybody know what I'm doing, like growing my Instagram. Like I went from 300 followers like 2.5 years ago to over 14,000,
It's insane.
Just by being like posting every day, like making sure like I had just something out there to kind of show what I was doing and that I know what I'm doing and I'm providing like value to to my clients, and I'm going to do everything I can and work as hard as I can to make sure, they have the best experience with me and we find the house of their dreams. So it's really rewarding. Like, and so that's really just little by little how I rebuilt my life.
I love it. It's so funny because I'm sitting here looking up at the ceiling and smiling, because when you go through shit like that, that's the heavy lift. Like that is like when you are feeling emotionally. That is when you're feeling in your soul. Your body hurts. It almost hurts physically to make that next good decision of waking up in the morning, eating the right food. No, you just want the pizza. No, you want to lay there and be a bum. You want to feel fucking sorry for yourself. You want to be depressed because that's how you're feeling currently. But when you work through those,
Yes.
And you come out strong. You know, like that's what you've done, right? Yeah. So now anything that you have to deal with, contractual issues, buyer issues, seller issues, how easy is that to deal with now?
So easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, and it, you know, going through something hard, no matter what you're going through, like it really empowers you when you're on the other side. And my kids, like seeing, you know, what I've went through, and then now like how successful I am and how happy I am, it really, like, they're proud of me. And I think that's, you know, I'm being a good role model to them.
That's it.
So, and really how, you know, like your word, balancing everything, like my career and then them. And I always want to be at their sports games. And, you know, it's definitely a balance. But I think overall, I'm just being a really good role model for them. And I want them to grow up and know that they can do anything they put their minds to. You just have, you know, with hard work and believing in yourself. And because it's true. Like it just, when you have that, like you will achieve great things.
I think it's one thing to say it, right? To tell a kid, you can be anything you want to be. You can do this. You can do that. So all you parents out there, you're telling your kids they can be or do anything or have anything they want, be, do, have. The fuck are you doing?
Right.
Like, because if you're not doing it, then they are not going to follow you. I'm looking right at you because I've been there.
Yeah.
Like I've been there. Like I cannot talk about discipline and determination when my body was a fat, fluffy mess. I can't because I wasn't controlling in that one area.
Right.
But now that I do control it in one area and things are starting to grow professionally now, everything comes together. And now your kids are saying, wow, I could do that. Exactly. So you can either say to your kids, right, you can do this, you can be or have anything you want, or you can show them how the hell to do it.
That is so powerful. That's so true. Really doing it yourself is the best way to show them.
But you're doing that. Like, that's the thing that I want you to understand, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the point. It's like, you know, yes, you know, you're out of this marriage, you're out of like all this other shit. But what you're really showing your daughter and your two sons is like, mom can fucking rock it. And if mom can rock it and she can smile and keep her chest up and her head up through all this stuff, like, dude, why can't I? So like,
that's true. Thank you.
There was moments, I'm gonna tell you right here, because for the audience that doesn't know, her daughter's a freshman and was on varsity basketball and they won a district championship. There was times during that year that she just won the district championship that she wanted to give up. I'm going to tell you right now, because that's the way things are, especially as a young adolescent. And there was something whispering to her not to, and it probably was the fact that she saw you persevere out of that situation.
Thank you. I hope so. And I really, she has a really amazing drive, and I'm really trying hard to lead by example and just.
Tell me about her drive. What does it look like?
Well, just, she's very focused, and that's something that I try to be with everything in my life, like my workouts, my work, just, you know, doing what she needs to do and not like overcomplicating it, and just really trying to be the best she can be. I see her, you know. That's
learned behavior. It's learned behavior. You know, it's funny because, you know, I'm listening to you, but I'm also watching every move. Like, that's the one thing that people don't understand, because I'm very incognito about it. Like, I see what you did when you got here, right? Because you posted it. I saw what you did this morning because you posted it. You were up, you were at the gym, you got a quick one in. Like, you're living it, right? So you can say it with your chest, right? Like, you're living out loud. And those are the things that kids pick up on. So I always think, and I don't know who coined this phrase. I didn't, but I use it because I love it. And if I remembered who said it, I would quote you. I'm sorry if you're listening and I don't know it, but like, the best lessons aren't taught, they're caught.
Oh, wow.
So everything that your child sees you doing is teaching them more of a lesson than you telling them something.
That's a great quote.
Right? So, you know, what are my kids watching me do? They wake up in the morning, what am I doing? I'm drenched in sweat making their breakfast. So what's your move? What's your move when you're older? Like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to,
You know, like that to me is showing them something and they're catching lessons. Have you ever thought of it like that before?
No, I have never thought about it like that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That is crazy to think about.
It's powerful.
It is. No, it's very powerful. And I always like think about like just I want to be the best I can be for, now I've really tried to make sure that for myself that I'm, like the healthiest and hardworking and there for them. But I never thought about it like it's really, they're copying me and it's
everything you're doing, they're watching. They are watching.
That is powerful.
You may not know it, but they are stalking your ass. And they're finding the holes, right? Because this is what the kids do, especially the 14-year-old.
Yes.
Okay. And then your 12-year-old, maybe not your 10-year-old yet, but your 14 and 12-year-old are trying to find the chink in your armor. Where are the holes so I can exploit them when I'm in trouble and throw it back?
Yeah.
And if you don't have them, if you don't show them, they can't, right? But if you just display determination, grit, resiliency,
yes,
like that's what they're going to learn. So what they find is they start looking for your holes, but only find all the light.
That's true.
And then they gravitate to that, and then that becomes them.
And I try to be like just a positive, like, the light within, I try to be like that because I don't want them to, when they think about like me, and I want them to know that like I'm going to always like be there for them and have something like encouraging to say. Like no matter what they've done, I always tell them like, if you come to me and tell me the truth, like, and they're great kids, but I'm thinking like as they get older, like if you come to me and tell me the truth, you're not going to be in trouble. Like I'm here for you. And I want to make sure we have that relationship where, later on, if they're in trouble or something's going on, that they can come to me and know like I'm here for them. And
that's how you keep them from getting behind the wheel drunk.
Oh gosh. Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So like, it's funny because my wife and I talk about this all the time and we tell this to our, to Bobby, who's 11. It's like, hey, look, as you get older, you're going to be, things are going to be in your face. Like you're going to be out potentially at a party. If something goes on, I need you to be comfortable enough to call me.
Yes.
And we're not going to yell at you no matter what you did, but we're going to have a conversation, not that night, but in the morning. But I'd rather you make it home alive.
Exactly.
Like that's heavy, right?
It's
so
like heavy.
But in these formative years, 14, 12, and 10, displaying rational behavior when you hear something from them. Like if you never overreact to something, okay. And then you can be that calming voice and be their peace. So they feel they can be honest with you. Like that's where that real relationship comes from.
I agree with you on that. And them not being scared that they're going to get in trouble or scared that, I'm going to like yell at them or be like crazy to them. Like just having that relationship and I try to build that like every day, just really, and they know I'm there for them. Like they're, whenever something, like if they need me to talk to a teacher or parent teacher conference or something, like I'm always there for them. Just through everything. Yeah, that's good. I try my very best, like we all do as parents. It's hard though, man. It's hard. It is hard. Yeah. It's hard.
'Cause there's life going on, right?
Right.
There's life going on constantly.
And with more than like with 3 kids, like it's all and close together too. Both of all 3 of yours and mine are
like
close
2 years
together,
apart, two and a half years apart. It's like bang, bang, bang.
So
yeah, it's nuts.
Yes.
So, okay. So let's start tying in the career now. Walk me and the audience through what having a successful real estate business means to you at this point in your life. Because it's not just about the money.
No, what it means to me is that I have shown myself, like I can support myself. I can do this. Like I can take care of myself, like in my life and my kids. And having, just money be something that was used as control, which I think, talking to friends, like a lot of women are going through things, and I'm sure men too, just with, their partner controlling money, holding it over their heads, like, there's all sorts of way for money to be controlled. But now that I have my career and my business and it's growing and growing, it's like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like I pay for my own life and it's so rewarding. And like, it's the mental feeling that like, I'm not scared anymore.
Dude, how powerful, right?
I'm like, I got this.
Yeah.
Like,
my mom went through the same thing.
She did?
She did, man. So, she's had multiple marriages, but my dad, he's my biological, he's my dad.
Uh-huh.
They ended up getting a divorce. And before that, she had never been able to live on her own. Never had to.
Uh-huh.
And she's killing it. She bought her own home.
Mm-hmm.
She's gone through 2, hip replacement surgeries, 2 knee replacement surgeries. And this woman, her perspective, I love you, Mom, but your perspective sometimes is fucked up, right? She still has that poor me type mentality at times, just being honest.
Uh-huh.
But she fights through it.
Yes.
She's a fighter. She's determined, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like for you, when you're sitting there saying like, I can support myself. I can support my own life. I can support my kids. I can do this. There's audience people right now listening that don't understand that. They don't understand what you said because they think, well, why wouldn't you be able to? Explain to them, like enlighten them because they need to understand what you went through and what this actually means.
Well, it was really, everything was taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would take care of our children, which I am so grateful that I was able to do, like be home with them and take care of them. But every year, like whenever I would need to renew my real estate license, it was always like, you don't need to do that. Like, you don't need that. We have 3 kids. Like, you don't need that. I'm not paying for that. Like, things like that. And it was like $500 or $600. And, he had a really great, like very successful career, but it was anything that had to do with me bettering myself. It was just, it caused so many issues.
Because it was never about you bettering yourself. It was about you being able to stand on your own 2 feet.
Right.
And not need him.
And when you're in that mindset, though, you don't realize like that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, because I would say, oh gosh, like I do have 3 kids. Like, oh, it's like, but using that and it makes you crazy. And I'm sure people can relate to this.
Yes.
Like, you don't really, when you're in it, you're like, oh gosh, well, everything's taken care of. Like, I don't have to pay for my own health insurance, car insurance, like my kids, like how am I going to feed them and all these things. And so it's like staying stuck in a life that is not where you want to be, but it's safe.
Right.
Because safe as in like you have a house, you have, you don't
bills are paid,
right?
Health insurance, food on the table, right?
Like, but you don't have that freedom to like make choices for yourself.
Fuck.
And I really feel like being able to choose is so freeing. Like, it's one of those things where like, and my Jason's so wonderful. He's so supportive of my career. Like when I told him I was coming on here, he was like, you go. Like,
that's cool, man.
But like,
I wish he could have came.
I know, me too. But just having that free, like just being able to choose like what I want for my life that I know is going to benefit my kids, just, it's like that freedom to choose.
That's so awesome.
And feeling that you're not going to have anybody be upset with you about it.
Such a simplistic thing, right?
I know.
Isn't that weird? Like this whole thing brought out the freedom to choose.
Right.
That you get the choice to live what life you want to live and to provide for your family, your children. It's wild shit.
Isn't that?
Right? No, like truly, because like,
yes.
If nobody's gone through what you've gone through, they don't get it. But now I think they have a little bit of an idea, like that you get to choose now, right? Without consequence.
Yes.
The only consequence is a positive one, right? Your children get to see this. And then your boyfriend gets to fall in love with that over and over and over again every day. That is a powerful situation. Damn.
Thank you. Yes.
And you're an avid worker outer too. You love Soul Cycle.
I do.
Yeah. You love your weights.
I do.
So you pour into yourself like multiple areas. That's my point, right? It's like you you go do your soul cycle, and then you also have a personal trainer that you go lift weights with twice a week. So you're consistently pouring back into yourself. How freeing was that?
It is like a feeling like no other.
Right.
Like just, it's so freeing.
You don't have to ask permission.
Right. Like it's one of those things where you don't know how good it's going to feel until you're actually living it.
Yeah.
And
Wild, man.
it's just empowering, and just knowing that I'm going to keep getting like better and better. I'm going to grow my business. I'm going to, I always am like trying to be a better mom, and just with my whole life.
Yeah.
And before, my whole entire focus was like, I was worried about my kids. I was, it was just one of those things in my mind. I was like, oh gosh, I can't do this for myself, because what about my kids? But really, it's not being selfish.
No.
Again, back to that, like it was you as a parent, you have to do things for yourself if you're going to be able to give.
Well, you were stuck in a place of lacking. Right now, you're in a place of growth. You're in a place of yes. I can do that. Right.
Right.
And I think that's important, because that's when you're truly living.
Oh gosh, yes.
Right.
Yes, and just loving the life that you're living. And like, I'm 42, and I used to think like, oh my gosh, like once my kids grow up, like what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, this is so exciting. Like, I love my life. Like, I have so many things to look forward to.
The 40s are still young, man.
I know. I mean,
we're still spring chickens.
I think so too.
Yeah. I'm just figuring out who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, especially like women, I think feel like as you get older, like you are stuck, or you can't change your life. Just from talking to different friends, they're like, well, how did you do it at your age? And I'm like, I'm not that old, first of all.
Not at all. No.
And second of all, like you can change your life at any point in time.
Yeah.
There's no like rule where like if you're over this age, like it's too late. It's never too late.
I remember when I was a kid thinking like 42 was old.
Right.
And so that's when the first ever The Determined Society was recorded, when I was 42 years old.
See?
And so I'm 46 now. This month, I think it's maybe tomorrow. Wait, or the 27th. I'd have to look at that. Is the 4-year anniversary of the show.
Congratulations.
Wild, isn't it?
That is wild.
But that was a pivot I did at 42.
See?
And it wasn't the only thing I did. Now this is the only thing I do, right? But before that, it was like, I was a baseball coach and a teacher. I was a sales rep. And now I'm shifting to this. But it was a hard pull. It was like something inside me was just like trying to come out. And I was like, okay, I got to explore this. I got to figure out what it is. I'm probably going to suck. No one's going to listen. Right. That was like one of the first episodes. Was like, if you're listening, thank you. I don't know who's going to listen.
Oh.
And the vision for the show was so small. But as things continue and the consistency happens.
Yes.
And there were some breaks in between, right? Because there was frustration, there was depression, there was, anxiety. There was a lot of different things that happened in the last 4 years that I finally got a hold on over the last year and a half. And then ever since then, it's been like light speed ahead.
Yeah.
Right. But again, at 42, I made that move. I chose differently, and I lost a lot of people along the way.
Oh, yes.
Everybody thinks it's cool until it's serious, right? Everybody thinks it's cool. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. You can speak here. You can do that. But then when all the attention comes, like, whoa, wait a second. You can't be a part of XYZ anymore because your focus is here, right? I fully intended to continue with my sales career and do this.
Right.
But what I found out is corporate America don't like that. They don't like it. No. They don't like it because of what you may say. It may represent them. So now I'm just my own dude.
Yeah.
I'm just my own dude now.
But you're happy. And
so happy. At times it's still hard. It's still hard sometimes, and it's stressful, but I would rather have that and know that I can fully control what I do than, have my life sitting in somebody else's hands.
Exactly.
But you can surely attest to that yourself, because that's what you've done with your life.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded, so you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this tea time you.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even tea time you.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.
Yes, definitely.
Damn. What do you love most about real estate?
All the people that I get to help, all of my clients, and just it's so rewarding. And I love to look at beautiful houses, and
That shit's cool.
it's so much fun. And just seeing my clients who like 99% of the time become like very close friends of mine if they weren't already before.
I'm not surprised.
But I really just love seeing them settled in their new homes and selling, like settled in their new homes, and also me being able to help them sell their current home, like for the most possible. Like I work with a great staging company and photographer and mortgage broker. And so I have my whole team of like wonderful people that I know are going to do their best and take care of my clients the way that I do. And it's a great feeling.
It's so funny because like the first thing you said was watching your clients get settled in their new home.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that is a personal win for you because of what you went through? You like seeing it in other people?
No.
Bro, you got to go deeper more often on yourself, man.
I've never
think about
it
that
like that.
Think about it. So you're reliving your wins through these other people, and that is a great way. That is a great way to live, through other people, right?
Wow.
That's a nice vicarious win.
That is.
Because it reminds you of what you've done, and now you're giving it to other people. That's a gift. That's a gift, dude. It's emotional. I'm getting goosebumps.
That is, I know, me too. That is powerful. I've never thought about it like that.
Most people love selling the house because they can provide financially for their families. And they get the cool photo op with the people. Neat. This will help you sell the next house.
Right.
But it's different for you on a physical level. Like you're feeling it differently.
I am.
But you don't realize it until I bring it up.
No.
So now next time it happens, and when you see somebody, like physiologically, you're going to feel that feeling. And that is why you're having so many great things come to you, because your mind doesn't know whether it's happening to somebody else or happening to you. Has no clue.
Okay,
it can't judge. It can't judge.
Unbelievable, that point.
Well, that's visualization, right? So if you think about visualization and you visualize selling a house, but if you visualize the feeling that you have when you're selling the house and seeing the people and feeling that emotional state, your brain doesn't know that that's a simulation.
Right.
It has no idea. So it's real. And so that you vibrate on a certain level, and that's what comes to you, because there's no other way, because that's the only thing you're looking for. Yeah.
That's true.
You're doing a lot of cool shit, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's big.
I'm just really happy.
I can tell. You walked into First Watch and you were lit up. I'm like, damn, I better get on my game, because she's coming in here like a fucking spark plug.
It's like a list of things I want to ask you.
You don't forget, after the show, you still got to ask me all these things.
I know.
So as we land the plane here, 2024 was about consistency for you. What is 2025 about?
It's about growth.
Okay.
That's with my business, and about like my word was hustling, like growth and hustle, like really just, I have hit the ground like running, like with 2025. I want to have record sales, but it's not even about that. Like I just have, certain like friends that I'm still helping find houses that I really, it's because in Houston, the inventory is still low with houses. And so I've really been working hard on, like, I'll drop off little gifts. I had these custom candles made with my logo and some wine stoppers. And so I've been dropping off like gifts, like asking, homeowners if they want to sell their houses, and, just to see if it fits for a client. Like and then I'll call them and just, ask them if they want to sell it. No. And people love my little gift. And, if they ever want to sell, they know to reach out to me. But that's the hustle. Like, you really like taking the time.
That's a door-to-door solar panel sales shit.
Oh God, I don't door knock, but yeah.
But even if you did, it'd be whatever.
Right.
You know, the point is you're out there doing it, right?
Yes.
You can't expect growth and not do uncomfortable things.
Right. Exactly. Because it does take time. But I really just, growing and being the best realtor I can be to my clients, even if it takes like trying to find off market or, just different things that would help them.
Yeah.
So I'm really going the extra mile and just trying to really grow.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
That's really awesome. I love that word growth. I love the fact that you have something tied to it though, right? Because some people say, yeah, I want to sell X many houses, right? Well, how are you going to get there? What are your KPIs? How many doors you have to knock on? How many calls you have to make? How many listing appointments you need? How many buyer meetings you need? How many houses you have to show?
Right.
I can go on and on and on and on. Right?
Yes.
But I think the big thing is like when you have a set plan, like this is what growth looks like to me this year, then it's attainable, right? And as long as we stay disciplined in our own life, your morning routine, whatever, like the morning routine we were talking about, it's like morning routine's cool. Like there's a lot of, IGers out there like, oh, my morning routine, I walk for 45 minutes, then I breathe for another 30 minutes. Then I have a walk with my wife and we have 17 cups of coffee. And by 1, I start working and I made $9 million last month.
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like shut the fuck up. You're lying. Okay. Really what the morning routine does is just get you to keep your word to yourself.
Exactly.
So I don't care what your morning routine is. Like, there's a lot I wake up at 4 and I'm in the gym by 4:30, not because I want to or think I have to. It's just like in my schedule with everything I have going on with the 3 children, wanting to spend time with my wife,
right,
and my kids' extracurriculars. My son has baseball, my girls have gymnastics. Like it's the only time I could do it.
Yes.
Right. So my morning routine is about executing things that I say I'm going to do. And so if someone else's is, I need to wake up at 7 and I need to read 15 pages, then that's what you do. That's your morning routine.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It just has to be like something that you said you were going to do and you stick to it.
You do it.
And so I think that's like an important lesson. So as we wrap up, the one question I have for you, obviously this is the Determined Society. What does determination mean to you and how have you applied it to your last 2 years?
Okay. So determination means to me making a choice and following through with it the best possible way I can. Like not going, like believing in myself and not going back on a choice that I've made.
Love it.
And I have really, the past 2 years, I made a choice. And even though it was, scary, like sad at times, I had different emotions, I kept going.
Yeah.
And I was determined to get to the other side. I was determined to have my house, have my kids, like all these things. And just, that's what it really means to me. Not giving up.
Yeah. It's so funny because I look at, motivation, I look at determination, and then I like to think of this as like, it's doing what you say you're going to do long after the emotion wears off.
Exactly.
That's it. It's easy to get excited about getting in shape. It's easy to get excited about being a top luxury realtor. It's easy to get excited about having a top 10, podcast. It's easy to get excited about it.
Right.
But what happens when that emotion wears off? What are you going to do? So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Coming all this way. This episode was awesome.
Thank you.
You did so good. I appreciate you.
Really enjoyed it.
Give everybody where they can find you on Instagram or your website. So that
yes. Instagram, HS Homes Houston. Awesome. Follow me and send me a message and I'll follow you back.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes. What's your website?
hshomeshouston.com.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and watching on YouTube or Spotify. Please don't forget to send this episode to somebody that would get a bunch out of it, but hit the like button, hit the subscribe, leave a review. Until next time, stay determined.
Sean French, what up? This one luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time. I confirmed it. A whole society determined.